Hello, viewers. Here's a mindful man reading a chapter from The Clinic by Paul G. Brett. Chapter number 6, called Rupert. No, of course not, but you've got to understand, I have to share you with my work. You wouldn't give up your rumbling cello to be with me 24 hours a day, would you? Oh no, I've read this one. I'm not sure if I've read this, but I'll keep going. It's not a rumbling cello, it speaks to me in a lovely voice, and it sings, and we have the most wonderful conversations together. There you are, you see. See what? You think of it as a person. So? Well, if you think a piece of wood and some cat got a wonderful piece, of course, but if a piece of wood can be a person when it isn't, some people can think cells are a person when they're not. It's only a metaphor. Spaghetti, I said. Oh, good, I haven't had anything since breakfast and I'm starving. No, I don't mean food, I mean your mind. What you said was all in a jumble like spaghetti. You're right, I'm sorry, I'm just so tired at the moment. It's all go, go, go. Dad sent me details of another case yesterday. A girl has had a... Not now, drink first, then eat and talk, right? Come on. The pasta would only take 10 minutes and I'd done the salad already. I pushed him into the kitchen, put a can of beer in his hand, and sat him down at the table. It wouldn't be long now before I could ask him everything and tell him what I'd decided. Oh, sick chap. The postman seems to bring more and more letters every day. Now that I was in harness and beginning to make contact with people all around the diocese, I suppose the clergy thought this was the time to write to me, to establish themselves, to make sure that their names were in my mind as I made appointments and so on. Thursday morning brought a particular bumpy bundle of lunacy. Brenda told me that a whole stack of letters had arrived, most of them unnecessarily marked confidential, together with the usual pile of unsolicited mail. The first time I had looked at it all and then asked her to filter it out in the future. While those suppliers thought I was in urgent need of new credit card arrangements, further insurance cover, double glazing, block paving, upmarket outdoor wear, do-it-yourself supplies, and various forms of fairly horrid ecclesiastical furniture and fittings, I couldn't imagine. I suggested she buy a large shredder to deal with it all and send the bill to the commissioners. With Brenda sitting primly on a chair by my desk, a notebook and pencil at the ready, I set to work on the current batch, all helpfully opened, and put in files with any previous correspondence from the same source. The rector of Foxington wanted me to sort out a dispute with his neighbour. He welcomed anyone who came inquiring about christenings, as they called them, including people from the next-door parish, where the vicar refused to baptize any child whose parents did not come to church. Would I arbitrate between them? They must sort it out themselves, I said. Tell them to develop a deanery policy, will you? Very good, Bishop. The writer of the next letter said he was sure I was extremely busy and would be very much in demand, but would I entertain the idea of coming to preach at his church in a year's time? The people would particularly want to know my views on the ordination of women. Is my diary free on the date he wants? Brenda looked hurriedly and nodded. Say yes, then. Very good, Bishop, but you may not enjoy the church. It's very high. Oh, dear. I turned next to a pompous letter from one of the archdeacons telling me about the recently formed diocesan committee on diocesan committees. Diocesan. In the aftermath of the fire in the office and the loss of all their records, apparently no one could remember what committees we had and what they were all supposed to be doing. As an urgent matter, a group had been convened to review the situation and devise a new structure, but hadn't made much progress. Would I be willing to chair it? It would be an ideal opportunity for me to lead the diocese forward in the way I saw best. Should I do that? I asked Brenda. Bishop, she said, drawing herself up to her full height. She was a short woman in her late 40s. I think I'd leave it to the archdeacon himself. He knows the internal politics very well, and you might get into difficulty if you seem to favour one over against another. If I were you, I'm beginning to think I wish you were, I broke in with a smile. I saw her thin lips tighten for a moment, but detected no other response. Hope you enjoyed this chapter. Some of the words are a bit confusing. Please sub me.